The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Guerrilla Politics. I am Dale Jackson, a radio talk show host in North Alabama. You can hear my show every Monday through Friday from 7 to 11 a.m. on News Talk 770 a.m., 92.5 FM, WVNN. And with me, as always, is Dr. Waymon Burke, a doctor of political science at Calhoun Community College. And don't forget, go to yellowhammernews.com, sign up for their daily email blast. And in your email inbox every single morning, you will get my 7 things you should be talking about today. A quick run through of the things you should be talking about every single day. Go to yellowhammernews.com today and sign up for that. We've got a great show for you. Dr. Burke and I will talk about this Toyota-Mazda plant and who gets the credit for it, because it's been a hot topic of conversation in political circles in the great state of Alabama. Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you about Jeff Flake, who will get 2 mentions on this program. And I've got a parting shot for Apple's Tim Cook. Just a little request for him, not a big deal. But right now, let's get to the 2-minute warning. Dr. Burke, this is the big story, and we really don't know how this is all going to play out at the time of this taping, but the shutdown. This is something that continues to come up, and even if there is some sort of deal that averts a shutdown, we are just looking down the barrel of a gun at another shutdown right around the corner. The question really is, who's to blame? Now, this is, in my opinion, relatively simple. You have Republicans in control of the presidency, the House, and the Senate. So saying they're to blame would be a pretty easy thing to do. But there are other issues at hand. DACA, the CHIP program, insurance for children, and a whole bunch of other matters. Also an issue, why not just have a budget like we're supposed to? Dr. Burke, I laid out potential people to blame here. Who's to blame?
Well, I think the blame, in all fairness, goes on all sides. But you are correct. The Republicans control all 3 branches of government, and especially the 2, the presidency and Congress, and they should be able to forge some type of alliance there to pass a budget. But it's been, what, about 4 decades since we've had an actual true budget passed, and Democrats and Republicans have played a role in not fulfilling their responsibility.
You say 4 decades?
Well, for decades. I won't say every year, but this has been going on for 4 decades.
We've had this issue before.
We've had it numerous times.
We go to the brink often.
We go to the brink, and it's unfair. Well, one, it's not efficient. We force, in times that we have shut down the government, we forced military projects, for example, among many, to be shut down, and it costs big bucks to start those up again. And not to mention the other aspects of government. But the fact is, they're not doing anyone a favor.
No.
And not only the federal employees, but it's a disservice to the American people. The Democrats and Republicans should come up with reasonable positions and make this happen.
Yeah, it's funny. The Democrats and Republicans, they went through this a couple of years ago. Now here we are again, and we're going to go through it in a couple of months. We'll see what happens. As of the time of this taping, no deal has been 100% nailed down. Lots of talk, though. Let's move on. A strange pick. It would be a truly strange pick for Luther Strange, the former Attorney General of the great state of Alabama, the former United States Senator here in the great state of Alabama, who lost to Roy Moore, who then went on to lose to Doug Jones, could potentially be selected by the governor of this state to fill a Supreme Court seat that Glenn Murdoch left open. There is no way Kay Ivey can take Luther Strange and all the baggage that comes with him and put him on the Alabama Supreme Court and not create a controversy for herself.
Well, I would say that there are certainly political issues that have to be concerned, but I would say as far as qualification, I definitely think he's qualified. But it may be a little political toxic to do it in this environment.
Yeah.
But he's Strange, whether you agree with him or disagree with him. I've always admired Strange, and again, I've often disagreed with him. but he's certainly well qualified.
But think about this. He's associated with the issue with Bentley,
Correct.
which is directly connected to his job as the Attorney General. And then to take that guy and to then put him in a position where he is sitting on the highest court in the state of Alabama, I mean, this just doesn't seem like a good idea. But you look at the list of people who she's considering, and I'm just being completely honest, off the top of my head, I went through and looked at the list before the show. I can't even remember who they are.
But we do know who Senator Strange is.
Right. But again, he's so toxic amongst her Republican base who she needs. Forget about the general election.
I would be shocked if it happened, but I would have no problem about his ability to fulfill the responsibilities.
Is there any way she actually does it?
I would be shocked.
Yeah, so you'd be shocked if she does. I mean, it's just, to me, again, the handling of the Bentley stuff was so bad that it torpedoed what everyone thought should have been a walk in the park for a United States Senate race.
There were unintended consequences in this whole matter. And we wound up with a Democrat U.S. Senator.
Absolutely. Let's talk about DACA. We've heard a lot about immigration over the last couple of weeks. Did the president say this? Did he not say that? But that really doesn't play in here. Here, DACA is a very different situation. The president of the United States said during the campaign they've got to go home. He also talked about building a physical wall, a big, beautiful wall on the southern border. And now we are learning that, through the president's own words, he was ready to make a deal on the Dreamers. Also, we've heard from John Kelly, the chief of staff, that he was uninformed on the immigration issue when he was running for office, and the wall doesn't have to be a 100% physical barrier. Where does he actually stand on this stuff? I mean, I talk to people all the time. Even Republicans say, look, these DACA kids, it's not their fault. I have some sympathy for them. If they're not like an illegal immigrant who comes over here when he's 25 years old, it's very different. Where does Trump stand on this?
Well, obviously, I'm not sure. I mean, I thought from some of the rhetoric we've heard over the past few weeks that he was sympathetic, include that in a deal. I know a number of Republicans and, of course, Democrats want to get some firm legislation on this, but I think the Democrats want it as a part of a total comprehensive plan to deal with a number of immigration issues. But having worked with a number of these young people in my role as a teacher, I have complete empathy for them. The overwhelming majority of them are fine young men and women who are sort of in limbo out there. They are as American as you and I are.
They're not as American as you and I. That's completely
they grew up in this culture.
Okay, that's fine.
They have our accent.
But they're not as American. Look, we created this idea that a dreamer is a thing. They couldn't get it through Congress when Barack Obama was president of the United States. The idea that they're going to come up with something similar now, I think is laughable at best. If the Democrats want this, they're going to have to give. And they don't seem willing to give on a lot on this issue.
Well, I think the wall is probably the big issue.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And is it a wall or is it a metaphorical
but they should give.
wall?
They should give. They should give.
A boondoggle on a wall?
Whatever. They should give the wall, right?
Well, I disagree because I just think it's a major
They better figure out something to give.
A waste of taxpayer dollars.
They got to give to get what they want. The president's already caving a little bit on his end. They need to cave on their end.
Well, they thought they had a deal the other day, and it was the president who blew it up.
I agree. And I wasn't really hating that all that much. I don't like the way he did it, but I was okay with the outcome. Let's talk real quick about tax cuts. This is important, and this is very important. We heard all the reporting before the tax cut happened. It was a tax cut for the rich. Dr. Burke said the people at the top can buy Mercedes and the people at the bottom can buy hubcaps. Well, now we're learning that the tax cut in reality is far better than what Dr. Burke had told us it was going to be. We are seeing companies give bonuses, raising their minimum wages. Apple and their CEO has said we're going to bring back over $250 billion to the United States. They're going to invest that money in jobs and facilities. They're going to pay a hefty, a $38 billion tax cost in order to do that, but it was still cheaper than before the tax cut. The reporting was all negative. The impact's been all good.
Now, first of all, my friend Dale, once again, completely misrepresents my position.
Please, go on.
But no, I think tax reform was necessary. I did agree with that. My main criticism is that the bulk of it does go to the top and not as much goes to the bottom. And plus, as we know, the people, ordinary folks out there, the overwhelming majority, these tax cuts terminate at some point.
They'll be extended. We all know that.
Well, we don't have a crystal ball.
You know that.
And
stop.
also,
you know they'll be extended.
No, I don't know that. Well, you also told me they weren't going to deport any DACA kids, but the threat is still there. But the big problem down the road is by drying up the revenue is that at some point, probably in the next 10 years, we're going to have to make up our mind what we want to cut. And when we're talking about what are the three big spenders, it's military, it's Medicaid, Medicare, and it's Social Security. So those eat up the overwhelming majority of the budget.
Your implication is that we do not have record revenues now, which is false. And I think that there's a complete...
Once again, my friend Dale misrepresents that. The fact is, the money is not going to be there to do some of these things in the future.
Okay, Dr. Burke, gloom and doom. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about something that is completely silly. This is an insane thing that happened on the floor of the United States Senate this week. A sitting United States Senator, Jeff Flake, who's not running for re-election because he couldn't win re-election, decided to go onto the floor and call the president from his own party Stalin, and say he used the same words as Joseph Stalin does: fake news, enemy of the people, etc., when referring to the press. Now, there are plenty of things that Donald Trump does that I have a problem with. You hear me talk about him on this show all the time. But to refer to him as somebody who was a murderous dictator and make any type of correlation is ridiculous. Why would Jeff Flake do this?
Well, I think sometimes people may overspeak, but I will say that I have feared with a lot of other people that the president's use of terminology when he uses fake news, that the news media is the enemy of the people. He has said these things. That is not good. The media, I disagree with the media a lot, and I know you're very critical of what you sometimes call the mainstream media, but they're not a group that speaks with one voice. I mean, they're speaking with many different voices, and sometimes they get it right, and sometimes they get it wrong. But the fact is, they are the watchdogs of the concept we call democracy.
But here's the thing. The President of the United States put out his fake news awards this week, and he went through, and you said they don't speak with one voice. He laid out a pretty good number of straight-up wrong news stories on big issues: Russia, the economy, etc. All these things, and they got him wrong. And he should be able to call them out. The First Amendment, and this is the part that kills me about the press, and part of the media as well. This is the part that kills me. It's not just about the press. Yes, they have the freedom of the press, but even the President of the United States has the freedom to say, you suck. You're terrible at what you're doing.
Yes, I do, but he also has the responsibility of being a unifier and not to undermine institutions.
Let
me say this about the press. When they get it wrong, they do go back and offer corrections.
Sometimes.
I may not always agree with the way they do it, but they do come back and offer corrections.
Who investigated more journalists, Donald Trump or Barack Obama?
Well, I know you're going to say Barack Obama, but I don't know the details of that, so that'll have to come another day.
There are plenty of James Rosen of Fox News one. Barack Obama constantly talked about how the people on Fox News were living in an alternate universe, etc., and you probably believe that. My point is, this is not the first president to talk bad about the press. It won't be the last, and the press bears some responsibility for this. Their approval rating has plummeted over the last 20 years. That's their problem as well.
Modern criticism of the press really began with George Wallace in the 1960s and Spiro Agnew, who was vice president with Richard Nixon.
Were they wrong?
In some places they were wrong.
Okay, and in some places they were right. That's the important part about it. Everyone's got to get it right, or they should be able to be criticized. Thank you very much.
They should be able to be criticized. I agree there.
Thank you very much for watching and listening to Guerrilla Politics. We'll be right back. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
Now, that's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. You know, since I've been working with Matt Curtis, the number of hours it takes for him to sell a house continues to shrink. We're down to 14 hours. Every 14 hours, Matt Curtis sells a house. If you're looking to sell your house, he's the best in town, one of the best in the entire nation. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com. And when you do, tell him Dale Jackson sent you.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. And it's not just University Kia, it's Kias all over the world. I've been driving a Kia for almost 20 years. I love these vehicles because of a couple reasons. One, they're dependable. Two, great cost. And three, an amazing warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty at University Kia. Go see Calvin. Go see Arthur. Go see David Brady and all the fellows over there at University Kia. Check them out online at universitykia.com. And when you do, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at Rocket City Property Management. Look, I've got a property and I've got a renter, but I don't have time to be dealing with all the hassles of being a landlord. That's where Rocket City Property Management comes in. They collect my rent, they deal with the maintenance issues, they help me find people to live in my property. They'll do it for you too. Check them out online at rocketcitypropertymanagement.com, and when you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you. Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson. Dr. Burke with me as well. There's been a lot of talk this week about a lot of ridiculous things in regard to the Toyota and Mazda deal. We have heard different people take credit for it and say it wouldn't have happened if certain things took place. Let me just lay this out for you real quick. None of that's true. Bill Canary, a friend of mine who works as the CEO of the BCA, said that it's all about Richard Shelby. Richard Shelby's took credit for it. Doug Jones, I think, is even taking credit for it. And everyone's saying if Roy Moore would have been elected, it never would have happened. Can we start on this? Roy Moore had nothing to do with this. Doug Jones had nothing to do with it.
I respectfully disagree with you on that because, you know, Bill Canary, who is, you know, a genius in Alabama matters and so forth.
I agree.
I agree with him on some things, disagree with him on others, but when he speaks, I listen because he's a smart guy. But not only has he said this, I have talked with CEOs in this city who wish to remain anonymous.
During the election,
and I have talked with folks at the chamber who felt that Roy Moore, Senator Roy Moore, could have blown up a lot of deals, including
Dr. Burke,
this
we
one.
understand this. This was the argument used against Roy Moore. It was politics. I get it. I went and spoke with Congressman Brooks today about the Mazda and Toyota deal, which we're talking about. $1.6 billion plant, 4,000 jobs, $5.2 billion in job payroll that will be brought into this area over the next 20 years and into the state. And Congressman Waymon Burke told me he spoke with Toyota representatives, and the Toyota representatives said there was no evidence that it had anything to do with it. Now, look, I'm fine with taking our preconceived notions and running with them and saying, see this thing that happened? It's because of that thing I always believe. But here's the reality. This has nothing to do with Roy Moore. And here's why I think this is a problem. This is why I wanted to talk about this so bad. Doing something like this and then equating it to something else hurts us in the future. Because it doesn't say, here's why they came. Great business climate, good economic incentives, a base of automotive industry already here. That's what it really was about. If we pretend it was because of Doug Jones, what happens when Doug Jones leaves? We're screwed?
No, that's not what it is.
Well, when he loses in 2020.
Means, but let me say this, and no disrespect to Congressman Brooks. I have no idea who he has talked with, but the fact is...
Don't act like what he said isn't true.
And no, I'm not.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I don't know who he talked with. I'm not saying what he was told was that he believes that that's true. But I've had business people in the city, and Billy Canary, who is probably more connected than anybody, people directly involved in this project, and other projects who said
Incorrect.
that a Senator
It's not
Roy
true.
Moore is a problem for Alabama in recruiting business.
Again, you're overplaying your hand here.
I disagree.
What you are saying is that this project was affected by Roy Moore not getting elected.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is not an opinion. This is a fact.
And
Roy Moore had nothing to do with this. This project was
I
announced
agree with
months
you.
ago. They've been working on it for a while. The thing that happened on December 12th had nothing to do with it, and to pretend that it did only bolsters the political argument you were making before.
You and I are just going to have to disagree over this.
No.
But the fact is, I've talked to these business leaders. They're directly involved in this.
That was before the election.
And I've talked with them since.
Stop it.
As a matter of fact, I had a major official with the Chamber of Commerce here to tell me that one company that has not been announced yet was not going to come if Roy Moore was elected.
We are talking about Toyota-Mazda. I would love to hear the name of that company that says, I don't like money. We don't like that. I'm more concerned about who's the senator from the state of Alabama.
I'm not saying these other factors aren't in, but they were.
That's ridiculous.
They were. But
Dr.
certain
Burke?
things can be a tiebreaker.
Dr. Burke, okay. That's maybe the realest part of the whole story right there. It could be a tiebreaker. You're hedging your bets, and I appreciate it. It also lets me know how weak your position actually is.
Well, my position is not weak because I talked to actual business people who were in the room.
They're not here for red or blue. They're here for green. And
I agree with you.
That
Green
will
is
always
important.
be the way
and we
this
really
works.
appreciate Toyota-Mazda.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back. You're watching and listening to Guerrilla Politics. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. You know, since I've been working with Matt Curtis, the number of hours it takes for him to sell a house continues to shrink. We're down to 14 hours. Every 14 hours, Matt Curtis sells a house. If you're looking to sell your house, he's the best in town, one of the best in the entire nation. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com. And when you do, tell him Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. And it's not just University Kia, it's Kias all over the world. I've been driving a Kia for almost 20 years. I love these vehicles because of a couple reasons. One, they're dependable. Two, great cost. And three, an amazing warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty at University Kia. Go see Calvin. Go see Arthur. Go see David Brady and all the fellows over there at University Kia. Check them out online at universitykia.com. And when you do, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
Now, that's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Waymon Burke here for Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate Company. Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate is Huntsville's premier commercial real estate agency. Russ can help you with anything you need, whether it's raw property, office space, a commercial development. That's Russ Russell. He's a native Huntsvillian. He knows us. He knows our people. He knows real estate. A member of the Better Business Bureau, 536-7777.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson. Again, with me as always, Dr. Waymon Burke. As we wrap the program up, Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you about a guy who's in the news right now, Jeff Flake. We'll talk about how he got into the United States Senate race first in Arizona. We will also give you a parting shot from me directed towards Tim Cook of Alabama fame. Yes, an Alabama native who is doing really good things this week, and I've got a parting shot for him. Dr. Burke, take it away.
Well, Dale, you're right. Jeff Flake is again in the news, and it's not necessarily positive. He is highly critical, of course, of President Reagan. And so I went back and looked at his original Senate ads for election back in 2012. So let's roll it.
Our $1.5 trillion deficit and our $14 trillion debt. Federal government has kicked the budget can down the road for so long that we no longer have any more road left. We have got to solve this problem. I'm announcing today that I'm a candidate for the U.S. Senate. Arizona must continue to be the state where the beauty of the sunset is only eclipsed by the splendor of the sunrise. Somebody has to stand and say the truth.
Fighting for Arizona, the courage to do what's right. Jeff Flake for U.S. Senate. Learn more at jeffflake.com.
I, of course, said President Reagan, and I apologize to him rather than President Trump.
Maybe we need to give you a cognitive test. We know the president took one.
I do know the difference between a hippopotamus and a giraffe. I'll show you that. You know, but the fact is, there seems to be no love lost between these two.
No, there's none. I think this seals the deal on how ugly it's going to be. Yeah. I do appreciate one of the things Jeff Flake has said. He's like, look, on the things I agree with the president on, I'm going to help him. And I'm going to get the things done that I said I was going to do. But when President Trump is wrong or I feel he's wrong, I'm going to criticize him. The stuff about Stalin, as we talked about earlier, is a little over the edge. Now, let's go ahead and get to my parting shot. My parting shot this week is directed at the guy responsible for these things. Tim Cook, listen up. I want you to help your state. That's how simple this is. I want you to build your next facility here in the great state of Alabama. You have made no bones about a guy you dislike politically, Donald Trump, and his tax cuts helping out your company. So take your liberal sensibilities and bring them here to the great state of Alabama. Build a gigantic campus. Bring in engineers, computer scientists, really smart people from all over the world. Bring them into the state of Alabama. Employ Alabamians as well. Do something great for your home state. Do something great for the state of Alabama and for your company. As you learned with the Toyota-Mazda thing, it is great here in Alabama when it comes to a business environment. You can be a part of that. So Tim Cook, come and join us here in the great state of Alabama. I'll continue to buy your products. You come here and create some jobs. Thank you very much for that. And thank you very much to everyone else who is watching and listening here on Guerrilla Politics today. We'll be back next week.